in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Howard on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Coleman. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gonzalez. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. And this one is right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, Are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watching that, Barney!
Now back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They're going to try and throw. Now he'll let it go deep left. They've got his man complete. Say goodbye to Laquan Treadwell. Touchdown, Vikings. Laquan Treadwell, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is not going to be able to break free as they wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage. And the try for 2 is going to come up empty. Carlson now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Ready.
They pitch out to Howard. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitz.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Fielded just inside the 20. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught at the 25. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He'll get it up the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and push the pile. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one goes for 24 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. Oh, good move. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Second and 10 now from the 27. A give to Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, It's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They'll look to throw now on first down. Lets it fly for Thielen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So that penalty will back him up half the distance to the goal line. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
22. Set. Waiting.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
On the ball, on the ball.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Lets it fly for Treadwell, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up...
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Set, ladies. Back. Ready.
They begin the drive with Coleman. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Hey, go here.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They run with Howard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On the toss play, Howard. And shedding through the tackle. Oh, good move at the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. To throw on second down is Stafford. Buying time to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
21. Hey, tag 50 left.
Stafford now to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. From the gun, Stafford. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick here is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
It's a foot race. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going up top. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Gun!
Looking to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Let's go. Hard. 5 down. Stand up in. Check nine.
They go with Howard again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Lions on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll toss it to Coleman. And an Allen to run. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Right back to him on first down. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They go counter with Howard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Again, it's Howard. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. Back now at Ford Field. Forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun. Stafford able to find Deion Kane, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Deion Kane, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up first and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bird. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So first and 10 now from the 30.
Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw again. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end, Gonzalez. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
White 7. 21. White. Jumbo.
Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hut.
Back to throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll set up a throw and give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Hey, we set. Blue 60.
Now Howard. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Stafford on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, set, lady. Hey, give me radar. Block it. Zebra.
Play action. Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, 22.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before. And right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. That one looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 22. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
4 down. Set. 180. 10, 10.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep, and now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Vasquez. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. Nifty footwork at the 4. And now look at him go. And all the way down to the 26. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Bad. I'm out of here, man.